got work to do. My name is William Heisted. I'm 28 years old. I'm a student at Harvard University School of Business. I'm from Saginaw, Michigan, from the east side. If you've ever been to Saginaw, specifically the east side, you know that people from my neighborhood don't go to Harvard. They go to the School of Hard Knocks. But I've been blessed. I'm also black. Most of my life, I have been apologetically black. I was raised by a beautiful black queen. Her name is Kathleen.
Yeah, Kathleen!
I have 2 daughters. They're beautiful black princesses. I'm not fighting this fight because it's easy or because I want to. I don't even want to have this conversation. But unfortunately, the world that we live in is an unforgiving one. Therefore, we must have this conversation. I'm doing it for my mother's life, for my daughter's lives, so that the world that they grow up in is better than the one that I grew up in. How many of you have ever been in a car with a black person and gotten pulled over? A few hands here and there. When you guys got pulled over, did the black person in the car say, "Shit, is this how I'm gonna die?" They may not have said it out loud, but I guarantee you, they thought it. I guarantee you that thought sat in their mind for a few seconds. That is unacceptable. I come today to ask you one thing. To be unapologetic. To be unapologetic. Now, the few of you that I've seen here today that have been to some of my other rallies, you'll hear me chant that a lot. Be unapologetic.
Be unapologetic!
But it's more than just the saying. It's about actually doing it. Because guess what? We can march all day, but policy is not written on street corners or in parks. Policy is written in your state house, your city government, your college campuses. So I want you to take this same message back to those places. Because guess what? We can march to this park all day long, every day of the year. But that ain't gonna make change. Making change, you go to the ballot box. You cast your vote. You go to city council meetings. You demand that your elected representatives are serving you. They are public servants. The reason we can march to this place is because it's paid for by tax dollars. Which means each and every one of you own this park. And we've assembled peaceably, which is protected under the First Amendment. Thank God for the First Amendment. Secondly, your city government is also paid for by your taxes. How many times have you walked into your county courthouse and been afraid for what's going to happen next? Too damn many. Every time I've ever been to court, I've been terrified. And they call me light bright. I ain't even that dark. In Saginaw, that joke gets hella laughs. But whatever. Hey, there we go. Your community is paid for by you. The things that you fear in your community are paid for by you. So you tell me, should you be afraid of something you pay for? No! You're damn right you shouldn't. In fact, you need to demand better of every single one of your public servants. I'm talking from your librarian to your chief of police to your city council. In fact, I was approached a little bit earlier by one of the Caro City Council members. She told me she was the only one out here today. That breaks my heart. But at the same time, it's an eyes wide open moment. Because guess what? That one city council member has your back. The other 11 don't have your interests in mind.
Where's that city council member at? Can I have you come up front,
Please come forward.
We love you.
She is one of your elected officials.
Vote the others out.
How many city council members are there?
Well, 6 and a mayor.
Six in the mayor, 6 including you? Okay. She has shown up. That means you need to get the other 5 the fuck on out.
Yes.
Because guess what? Their ideals don't line up with yours. And guess what? The whole purpose of a civil servant is to serve the community and the civilization that lies within. In case you ain't know, that's y'all. I give what I call street corner sermons. I'm a business major. I want to sell edibles. I'm going to an Ivy League so I can sell weed. But guess what?
We'll talk. I work at the dispensary in Vassar.
We'll talk later, for sure. For sure. Get your info. But guess what? My Ivy League education don't do me no good unless I got boots on the ground.
Right.
Will's life matters.
Will's life matters. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
I can't breathe.
I can't breathe.
I can't breathe.
I can't breathe.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
I can't breathe.
I can't breathe.
Now y'all gonna let a 15-year-old out-spirit you? He may be small in stature, but he's big in heart, let me tell you. Brings me unfathomable joy when I see young people get involved.
Amen.
I was 18 the first time I protested. I was protesting a new jail being built in my city. They had an $8 million jail proposed. And I was like, $8 million? $8 million just to put a cage around other human beings? I'm sorry, you can spend $8 million building 10 community centers in your neighborhood. And I guarantee you, each one reach one. You build a community center, I guarantee you keep kids off the streets.
Yes.
Mass incarceration is slavery. I want to thank the police that joined us here today. Keeping us safe. But I also want to remind you, I'm not going to say his name because he doesn't deserve the breath that I would have to waste to say his name. But I want to remind you of what happened in Minneapolis a week ago. The reason we're here. Normally, I would ask you for a moment of silence. But guess what? We've been silent too damn long.
Too
So
long.
I want you, instead of being silent, I want you to make so much noise. I can't be silent no more. I can't be silent no more.
Black lives matter.
All day, every day.
Black lives matter.
I'm so very, very proud of you. And I've said that. And a lot of people have thanked me for what I've done this last week. But I'm here to tell you, I don't want your thanks. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm just doing what we're all supposed to do. When you see injustice, you stand up and you speak on it. You keep speaking truth to power, and power will eventually listen. And when they don't listen, I got a lesson for you. It's not a black issue, it's not a white issue, it's not a left issue, it's not a right issue. It's a humanity issue. And when the system stops listening to humanity issues, there's only one way to get through to them. Disrupt some commerce. Spend your money elsewhere.
Vote with your wallet.
Vote with your wallet. But don't vote with your wallet. Vote with your heart. If the elected officials you put in place don't align with your ideals, align with humanity,
They aren't supposed to be there.
they're not your elected officials. They're someone that you're paying to do nothing. And I don't know about y'all, but I tell you, I hate paying for nothing. Far too long, I've seen too many people go, maybe next time I'll vote. Maybe next time I'll speak up. Maybe next time I'll push that officer off that man's neck.
Your silence is violence.
Silence is betrayal. It's not just violence, it's betrayal. Being silent is being complicit. You don't want to be complicit in that. Now, I've heard chants of I can't breathe and Black Lives Matter. Say their names, saying his name. But guess what? None of that does any good unless you take this message beyond today. Don't come to a rally and then go home and do nothing. Run for office. Go to school and demand that your professors and your dean of students make policy change.
Be the change.
Be the change you want to see.
Be the change.
Be the change.
My little nigga, my new little home.
He needs to
About
run
to buy
for
him lunch.
office. Diana, do you have anything to say?
Once we have.
This is Rihanna. She's my other organizer. Let's hear it for her. Her life matters. She's 17 and scared to live in her own community. Your life matters. Your life matters.
About 5 to 6 years ago, I moved to Caro. And I got bullied almost every day for the color of my skin. And I wanted to fit in so badly to the point where I straightened my hair every day. Every day. My mom's a white lady, and she hated me straightening my hair. But I told her I wanted to be pretty like all the girls.
Because your black is beautiful, Rihanna.
Y'all black is beautiful.
I was so scared to come to this protest today because of all the death threats and people telling us they're gonna bring guns, run us over with trucks. But I had to be here. I felt like it was my obligation to be here.
We are more powerful than the threats.
Yesterday, my mom cried and begged for me not to come here because she was so scared of my safety. I had to promise her I would be safe out here to walk with all of you guys, and I'm only 17. There's people 30 plus should know now that racism is horrible.
I left off. We got 6 babies.
I should not be here
I just
fighting
didn't
for
know what the
people
outcome
like
would
me.
be, so I
Why
went
we're
home.
here?
I think
But
it's
this is my niece,
terrible.
that's my nephew.
Terrible that anybody of color has to fear for their life. We did nothing. We are judged by the color of our skin every day. And because my family is a mixed race family, we get stared at the zoo, at
Walmart.
fair,
At Walmart. The gas stations.
Yes, so many places, and it's so unfair. It's so unfair.
Totally unfair.
I get asked all the time, what is my race? And I tell them and get stared at differently because I'm different. And I do not like being stared at differently. I'm like anyone else, a kind-hearted person, and I work so hard to be like everyone else.
Are like everyone else.
Tell her. You are like everyone else. You just melanated and that makes you beautiful.
Black girl magic.
Black girl magic. Go ahead.
Your life matters.
Unequivocally.
Hagar's life matters.
Hagar's life
Matters.
I apologize if I don't know your names, but every one of your lives matter. Your life matters.
Your lives matter.
Your life matters. Your life matters. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Hands up. Don't shoot. Hands up. Don't shoot. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace.
Before I let y'all go real quick, I have one thing to say. Step outside of your comfort zone. Be unapologetic. Tell a black person, especially a black child, that their life matters. Because so often, the world that we live in forgets to tell them that. This young man right here has inspired me in more ways than I can count today. He may be small in stature, but he is enormous in heart. And I want you to take that, take his enthusiasm, take his persistence, take his energy, and go infect change.
A lot of you might not know who I am, but my brother's life matters. And I want you guys not to say Black Lives Matter lightly, because it's not just the same. We are starting a movement. We have been starting for too long. Before you judge somebody, do your research. Before you judge somebody, hear their side of the story. My brother, I haven't spent a week with my brother in 4 years. 4 years! He was 13! What does life matter? And for all of you, even if you're just now getting educated, I appreciate it. And I say, stand with us. Because we're tired of being
This is Michaela. She helped make signs. She's been with me every step of the way. She's amazing. Pull the trigger.
Hi, y'all.
Hey, girl.
I want to thank every single one of you because you have stepped up. You have shown your community that this, what we are all going through, especially our Black friends, this is not okay. We cannot be complicit with this. Our nation is divided.